woodshed. We're in the woodshed.
The woodshed.
Actually, it's a cafe.
I think this is
Woodshed Cafe.
Going.
What? Going. They fixed that. Alright. Now we're here in the woodshed. All of our expensive stuff, apparently. We really like the electronics department of stores. But so we're going to talk about the last bit of the plot that we have left. Where hello. Hello. Where were you?
Looking for you guys. Where were you?
We were looking. Yeah, what did we do then?
But I'm looking for you guys.
Something's not adding up over here, guys. Got to do with tobacco here.
Where were you guys?
Lisa, do you want to explain where you were?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you have any literary or generic elements that you would like to share with us? I should play that off good.
Well, when characters are the main focus, a quote from the book was, you think she might have run off. I asked who hopefully made this look like a crime scene and took off runaway wife thing. And this kind of shows that like she was the main, or the characters were the main focus because it was like, it's showing that like it's not about the story, it's like that the characters are making the plot for themselves. It's not about like everything else, it's kind of like just the plot. And then plots and the events are the main focus because each clue was hidden in a spot where I cheated on Amy. She'd used the treasure hunt to make me to take me on for all my infidelities. That shows because like the journey she took them on is about what the book was mainly about, not about like each individual character.
Yeah, every single point that she led him to was where he cheated on with Andy. And so she's like, hey, I'm right here. You may think, hey, I still love you, honey. No, I'm gonna take you everywhere that you decided not to love me. And you decided to think that I was inferior.
Okay. Throughout the book, there was like stylistic writing because she was a journalist, so she was working in the newspaper.
She was a writer.
Yeah.
She was a writer and made quizzes.
Yeah.
She's like one of those, what kind of tree are you? That
Yeah.
kind of deal.
And so like some of the parts framed in the book were like A, B, C, D, and it was kind of like, oh, which one do you think that? How she responded, how she did stuff like this. So it was like they incorporated her style of like her work into it. So it was like more stylistic in that aspect. But it was more straightforward in the aspect of they were just very frank about everything. Like this quote says, the morning after he almost killed me, it happened to be Nick's 35th birthday, but he didn't mention it. My husband has had enough gifts from me because of all the gifts she left him. Like the ones that were on the screen. And then story relates to issue beyond the page because it says our daughter was kidnapped and repeatedly raped by a monster she had stabbed in the neck, but this is in no way a cash grab because some people like beyond the thing, rape's a problem in society beyond just like what happens like now. It's like actual real world problem, not just a fairy tale story aspect of it. And there are some people that do it for the money and for like doing it just to like sue them and stuff like that. And they're saying, this was her, Amy's parents saying like, oh, she didn't just do that. And then the story is self-contained because when Desi wasn't around, the time it says, I tied pieces as tight as I could around my wrists and ankles so it would leave these grooves. I took a wine bottle I'd use myself every day so the inside of my vagina looked right for a rape victim. Then today I let him have sex with me, so I had a semen, and then I slipped some sleeping pills into his martini. It was very frank about everything that was going on. At some points they let you to like interpret and let you like guess what was actually happening, why she was were, and then other times she would be very frank with you and why you should. That's like the motive she took and like the why she did everything she did. And then do you have anything to add before we go?
Yeah, I can kind of just tell you guys about the end of the book. So what ends up happening is Lisa, when Amy returns, she is kind of like, all right, like, oh yes, Amy's back, yay, all that kind of typical BS you see in the media, like, oh my god, great. But the thing is though, Nick's pissed because he figures out like, hey, she's framing me for murder, and so now the detective and her sit down and have a conversation. And when they do that, there's just tons and tons of plot holes on why she did one thing, but then she came back on another, or living with Desi for 40 days, but doesn't seemingly add up to Gilpin. And so she's trying to, or not Gilpin, Bonnie, she's trying to figure out, all right, how on earth did this happen? And she believes Nick's story now, Nick's story that she's just absolutely just bonkers. And that she's like just this sociopath trying to set him up. And so when they get home, you know, they obviously can't frame her. They're both writing books, like Nick is, and then Amy's like starting a little bit of something, like little amazing Amy twist off. And so while Nick's writing this book, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get her back. Everybody's gonna see her for how she is. She goes and just goes up to Nick just casually and goes, hey, I'm pregnant. Actually pregnant. Not like before where it was just, I'm pregnant for the media. She's actually pregnant, traps Nick with the kid, and now they have to just fake love each other till the end of time, just so that Nick can take care of this kid, because he doesn't want to be exactly like his father treated him, and how he was like irresponsible and never wanted anything to like do with him. So he took this kid as his responsibility, and so he figured like, I can go through this, we can make things last, but it's not real, it's all artificial, it's a sociopath kind of love, where they don't really love each other, but they love each other, and it's all toxic. And so this book just kind of just messes with you just time and time again about how your depiction of love is and what you think it's at, and really what the other person is thinking. Here's our critiques.
Okay, so we rated our book on complexity, ability to follow, uniqueness, intensity, and word choice. And for my critique, I said that complexity was 8 because the story was very in and out. Like it was very like she thought she like had to plan out what his moves were, and then he had to plan out what her moves were, and like they were trying to like counteract each other. And the ability follow, it was pretty simple, like straightforward to follow. It may have been a little confusing at the beginning to realize, like, to understand that, or like the shift between like when she was telling the truth between her like diary, and then when it started becoming a lie, it started becoming more like unsure for me. And then uniqueness is, I give it a 9 because I really haven't read anything like this, especially with like how it like, it's like not very, it's like when you read it, it's like it goes back and forth between like the story leading up and then the story what's going on after. Like Nick and Amy's side, Amy explains like the beginning, like before the relationship, and Nick explains while she's like gone. So I thought that was very unique. And then intensity, I rated it a 6 because there were some parts where it just wasn't moving very fast, and it was kind of like just you're reading, it just seemed like a lot of details that seemed very pointless at the time. And then for word choice, I give it a 7 because I really didn't have, it wasn't like amazing, but there wasn't like anything, it went in a lot of detail, so I give it 7.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna grab this chair. Okay, so for complexity, I rated it an 8, and now I saw this movie because I was like, oh yeah, I'll pick a book that sounds like a movie. Okay, so I saw this movie when I was 13. Messed me up for life. I was like, I never want to do anything with women. And so I finally got to go back and like reread this book. I'm like, oh God, this is gonna mess me up again. And so I read this book. It's just super complex. There's so much detail, and you have to pay attention to all that little stuff. To where Amy's going through a diary, you have to depict, okay, this part of the story is real, this part of it's fake. She's trying to create this false image of Nick. This didn't happen. This did happen. It's just insane. So the ability to follow, I put 6, only because there are so many times I've been sitting in this classroom through that first part of the book, and I have had to just nap. It got slow for me, and I was like, oh my God, this stupid, sappy love story. I'm like, oh my God, I need to sleep. So once it hit around 200, 210, finally picked up. So I was like, it's good, it's really good. But it just kind of made me like, I had the first part of it. And uniqueness, yeah, I put a 10. There is nothing like I've ever read that again, and it really made me out of the box think about all of it. Because I'm like, man, like this is crazy. And at one point in the book, Amy has this cat, and I was like, oh my God, it's basically like cats versus dogs. Now I'm gonna explain this. So Nick is a dog. Like you can say it any way you want. He's a dog. He's a cheating dog. So that's kind of, you can make that picture of it. And Amy is just this like intellectual mind. I'm independent. I'm inferior. Wait, a cat. Cats versus dogs. This entire book, it's all a theory. Conspiracy theories. It's cats versus dogs. But I just thought there's so many ways you can depict things, like how they put in the book, like you can depict love in so many different ways, and I thought it was really unique on how they worded it, and how they put it, how they built it up, like Nick was bad, now he's good, Amy's bad, oh my God, she's really bad, and now it's like, okay, this is just plain up weird. And so, the intensity I put for 7, only because, like I said before, the beginning of it was like, okay, like, she's missing, like, where can we like pick up from there, like what's going on? We get some clues, obviously. This whole treasure hunt, what's so special about it? Like I said before, it picks up at the end of the book where it's like, now you know. Now you have to like reread it, and you're like, oh my God, that's gonna happen. That's important. And the word choice I also picked for a 7 because a lot of easy words to follow, nothing too complex, nothing too difficult. But it's not like you can pick it up and like immediately be like, I understand all of it. Thank you, but. You know, there's some kind of word choice where like, all right, Urban Dictionary, what does this mean?
Alright, so for complexity, I chose 6 because I feel like it was kind of very similar. Like it was easy to follow. Basically, like in the beginning, right off the bat, you know that Amy's like talking about the past, and then Nick's talking about the present. That's how I felt about it. Ability to follow, I mean, kind of relate back to the complexity. Like it was easy for me to follow. Like I was reading, I was engaged. Uniqueness, I gave it a 9 because just how the author portrayed all the things that they were talking about. It was so much detail, and you're like you're blown away by it. It's like you're just thinking like I swear, like I just sat down. I was like, what if that ever happened in a relationship, and you're just like, dang, like what if your wife just does that to you, and you're just like, man. So that's why like, I'm gonna put a video and be like, yo, if something ever happens, you know, relate to Gone Girl. Anyways, intensity 7. Like at some points, like it was intense because like it catches you off guard. Like with the plot twist, you didn't know what you were, you know, like you didn't know what to expect on it. Word choice 8. There weren't really that many hard words. It was very easy to like read. Like I didn't have to use any dictionary or anything. Like, it was all off the bat. Right. And that's the story of Gone Girl.
All right.